guys, welcome back to Sad Dad. My name is Dave Abkary and I am a comedian out of Fresno, California, and this is a podcast where I sit down with my fellow funny friends, my fellow comedians, and we talk about dads. Hi, how are you? How's your week been? I have a special guest for you guys today. She's all the way back from camp, and she wanted to talk to you guys about that. Guys, welcome Abigail Abkary into the show.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Oh man, you've had a fun summer. I feel like you've had a good summer.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you went to camp?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about camp.
So for a fact, I know the morning and the nights were really cold.
Okay, it was really cold.
So was the lock, the lake, aka lock, was very cold.
Oh, they call it the lock?
Yeah.
Like
the lock.
The lock, like the Loch Ness monster.
I guess.
Yeah.
And that's how they used to call, I think, the lakes.
They call them locks instead of lakes. Uh-huh. That's cool. So you were having to get all bundled up in the mornings, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wore these pants almost every single day, and they were awesome to wear.
Yeah.
They're like my tracksuit pants.
So they did the trick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mommy says when she picked you up, you were like a real ragamuffin. You were like...
Yeah. My hair.
Your hair was crazy. You were like wearing your bathing suit under your
clothes.
clothes.
Because I didn't have time to change out of my stuff. Luckily, I was wearing basically lazy clothes.
Uh-huh. Yeah. She said your sleeping bag was a mess.
I know. I didn't know how to roll it up.
She said you had little minions helping you carry all your stuff. Were you like the leader? Were you the leader of the cabin?
No.
No? Who was the leader?
Nobody. The cabin leader was.
The cabin leader was like the counselor? Mm-hmm. I got you.
Well, no, the cabin leader. There's 2 cabins, and then there's 2 cabin leaders.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Okay. And the cabin leaders weren't necessarily counselors. They were just older kids or what?
They were just they just helped.
Oh, okay. Were they your age?
No.
Oh, but they were older.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. Well, that's neat. That's cool. What else do you guys do?
We went on so many hikes.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah. Tell me about the hikes.
One of them, it just took so long.
Yeah, you're not a hiker, huh? No. I'm
more of a tree climber. There's the Reddingham stump there, next to Reddingham, and the person up top said that I'm a natural at tree climbing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you got those long arms and legs, huh? Yeah, and you're built like a bird, so that helps. You were telling me when you got to the end of the hike, what happened? Did they had a talk, or what did they do?
No, but in the middle of the hike, after 5 minutes of talking, then 5 minutes later we took 30 minutes sitting down, and our counselor was talking.
What was he talking about?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? What were you doing while he was talking?
I don't know.
You were...
I was no. I was kind of paying attention, but I was also looking around.
Yeah, what were you looking at?
Random stuff.
Uh-huh. There's something crawling on the ground?
Yeah. There's ants and bees.
Uh-huh. You paid attention to the ants and the bees, huh?
Yeah. I got scared when the bees flew by me.
My
face was going crazy, and I'm moving my head back.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of explaining it because of the podcast. You can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're just making a weird face and jerking your head around right now. Oh, man. What else went on at camp?
We went swimming.
Yeah?
At the pool and the lock. The lock was literally so cold.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, because of the melted snow.
Oh, right. But the pool was nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you feeling confident in your swimming ability? I know you took lessons last summer.
Yeah, but I still didn't do as good. There's a swimming test I didn't pass, but...
Oh, you didn't pass the swimming test?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No. What happened?
I didn't drown or anything. It's just you can't touch the ground or the sides, and that was really hard for me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't... Yeah, okay. Well, we'll work on your swimming some more. We're going to go swimming today.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I bring my bathing suit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And so, well, yeah. What else? What else was going on?
Free time was fun.
Free time. Oh, what's that? It's like recess.
Yeah.
What do you do on your free time?
There's activities you could do.
Ooh, like what? Tell me.
Make candles. Go in the lock. Climb the Reddingham stump. I heard your coffee. You sip.
I know. Sorry, I was trying to be quiet about it. Yeah, it's gross. Like sipping sound.
What else?
Did you make candles?
Yeah.
Do you have some of them?
I don't know. I think they're somewhere lost in my suitcase.
Probably all melted to the bottom of your suitcase now.
Well,
it's a mess.
I don't know. I might have left it there. I don't know.
You don't know, huh?
No.
Well, what else you got going on?
There was bunk beds and I slept on top.
Oh, you got the top bunk, huh? It's kind of cool.
Yeah, the mattresses weren't as comfortable as I thought they were.
You get a real crick in the neck?
Yeah, they were just like really loud too if you tried to move around.
Oh man, yeah, and you've had a pretty cool summer.
Yeah.
I've been jealous. You've had like the coolest summer, I think. You've done a bunch of stuff. What else did you do? You went. What did you do for 4th of July?
Went to a friend's house.
Yeah.
We went swimming and the pool was freezing.
Was it?
Yeah, because it was in the shade.
You guys got to see some cool fireworks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you got to, because we had all those fireworks here, because we thought you were going to come here.
Yeah.
But you got to set them off the next day with Grandma and Grandpa. That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You excited for school?
No.
No, 3rd grade. It's a good grade.
I don't like school.
You don't like school?
Boring.
It's boring. No, you're being such a hammer. You're being so aggressive. Okay, you gotta stop screaming into the mic. I don't know, 3rd grade. I feel like I learned a lot in 3rd grade.
Hope I get to learn times and division because I didn't even finish the first form in math facts.
Oh no. They started. What's that?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they started teaching you multiplication in 2nd grade.
A little bit.
Well,
after you finished all there's 3 forms in it's Form A, Form B, and Form C. Form A is all addition and subtraction, and then Form B and C is just all the mixed around.
Oh, I see. Ooh, all right. Well, I feel like you're up to the task.
I didn't even finish Form A. Sometimes I was close, sometimes I was close, and
Okay. Well, you'll get it. I mean, your grades are always good. I think if there was a real problem, your teacher would let us know. So don't be so hard on yourself. You're smart.
There was 80 questions, though.
That's a lot. That's so many questions.
I counted. Miss Farmer said 60, but there's not. I counted. There's 80.
Well, maybe that's why you didn't finish. It's because instead of doing the test, you were counting the number of questions.
No, I counted them. Like when there's time and before is each row had 10, there's 8 rows and I counted there's 80.
Okay, so do you know what you just did right there?
What?
You did times. You did multiplication. There were how many rows?
8.
8 rows, and how many questions in each row?
10.
So that is 8 times 10 equals 80. You did multiplication. You didn't even realize it. You goof. Oh man. Well, and then you got one more thing coming up. You guys, Mommy's taking you to Disneyland, is it?
Oh yeah, next week.
Yeah, you guys are going to. You gonna go to the Star Wars land or?
Yeah.
You excited about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, they keep raising the prices at Disneyland. It's so expensive.
But we have annual passes.
Right. It's nice. Yeah. Well, that's great.
I like annual passes.
Are you excited about anything else happening this summer? You got any other big plans after Disneyland?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not that I know of, but.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I got a great guest on the show today. This is a very funny man named Shaman Johal. Yeah, he's a great comedian. He's originally from, I think it's Farmersville, which is up north. It's like an hour up north. That's where he grew up. Kind of. It's a lot like Easton. And
okay.
it's just kind of
so
like.
So if I went there, I would be like, it's like Easton.
Yeah, you probably would. Yeah, it's just kind of a quiet little town out in the country, dusty little Central Valley town. And so he grew up out there. And then he ended up moving to Southern California, like the LA area, originally for school. And then he decided to stick around down there. And then he started doing comedy. And he's very funny. And we had him up a few weeks ago. I'd been meaning to have him on the show for forever, but it was always really hard to line up our schedules because he's like, he lives in Southern California, but then he'll come up and visit his family. And, and then that's like an hour north of here. What are you looking at? You keep looking past me.
There's a bird going.
You can't even, I'm like, yeah, you're just looking right past me out the window.
It's weird. It's going boom, left and right.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I guess we'll do it, huh?
Yeah.
We'll just jump into this episode with. You remember his name? No. No. Shaman Johal. Can you say it? Shaman.
Shaman
Johal.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, guys. Shaman Johal. Like her when I was a kid. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Yeah, for sure. Dude, you crushed it tonight. Yeah, I was like, I was.
You know what? I bombed so hard on Friday. I was like, I got a chip on my shoulder, dude.
I'm coming for blood.
Oh, sorry.
I like it. Oh, yeah, you can put those headphones on. Yeah, I was worried. I was worried David was gonna have a hard time following me. I know, like you're like in this.
Yeah, I might do it like.
I can turn it down too. It's.
I did this is only my second podcast, so.
Oh yeah.
Be gentle.
But, no,
dude. So I've only done this once before.
Have you? That's okay. No, you did great.
So it scares me.
Yeah.
I'm just, I've had a dick in me, but I'm not.
Not that kind of podcast.
Oh,
wait, okay. What kind of podcast were you on?
Wait a minute, what a podcast?
That's where he, like, the dude puts himself inside. No,
right?
No, that's not. That is.
He puts his pod in my cast, right?
That's funny, man. What you? I'm recording you now, but
okay, good.
Yeah,
I like this. This is smart.
Just easy into it.
Because I had a buddy who was just like, okay, we're gonna start now. After we bantered for like 20 minutes, and then we're like, oh, okay, ask me questions, and it just became very like. So I started in the military when I was.
Yeah, no, that's no fun. That's how you do it. You gotta ease into it. We were talking earlier today. We were talking about Livingston, which is where you're from,
right?
And it's like one of a million like dusty little like Central Valley towns. Mm-hmm. What's that place like, man?
Mm-hmm. I'm just getting used to this mic.
That's good.
Sound effects. That's what the town is like. The town is like you do have to do shit like that to amuse yourself. You know what I mean? Like small town USA.
Yeah. It's just
you can you're in your bath. You're like a day like this where it's super hot and your dad doesn't want to put on the AC.
Yeah.
Because PG&E charges more from 12 to 6 during the day.
And
stop that, but that's what it used to be.
Right.
And so it'd be hot as fuck, like 3 o'clock. And you're like, ugh.
Just
so you're just sitting.
Room.
Yeah, you're trying to sit on the floor, and you're just. How do you do Chewbacca?
Like that.
Yeah, you're just sitting there for hours. That's like people are like, oh, how'd you become a comedian? I'm like, I don't know. I like Jim Carrey, I like all these people, and there's just. Make sound effects and
just make noises.
Just make noises and make yourself laugh and fucking try to fart and make different fart sounds and literally just goofy toilet humor shit. Which I still do.
You live kind of you have like this is just my own perception, but you have like almost like a nomadic lifestyle. Like I feel like you're constantly like traveling back and forth between stuff. Like I don't know. Do you have a house? Like. Because you just kind of like blow through town.
No, dude, I just do podcasts and like afterwards, can I hang with you?
Can I hang with you? Can I sleep here?
Can we play like Fortnite after this? Or?
Yeah. What do you?
I like virgin coconut oil.
Yeah. It's like you just kind of like blow through town like some sort of like force of nature.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
then-
mean, I guess I'm torn. I guess like any comic, you do the road.
Yeah,
You try to get out of LA. Fuck LA, bro. No.
Yeah.
Like LA sucks, man. I'm sure you've heard it a million times before from comics.
Sure.
It's not the worst, but if you're from here or from any place where there's real people, you go to a place like that. And
Yeah.
you're just like,
it is a little weird.
after a couple days, not even like a couple weeks. After a couple weeks of just being in the grind and everybody, is. Everyone's super PC and liberal and just like dealing with the industry and all that sort of stuff and just doing the grind, the traffic.
Yeah, it was
it's
so
just a
weird.
grind.
I was down there back in March, and I was doing like a run of shows down there. I try to like go down there every few months and just like bang out a week of shows in LA just to keep up appearances. And I was like, at one point I was just like so over like the parking. Like I was like, I need acres and acres of parking. Like I ended up driving to like
fantasy.
Long Beach because that's how it is around here. Like you're just you go to the mall and there's like there's a little clogged up towards the front, but like there's still acres of empty parking
Like there's no
stalls.
paid
And-
parking. Like paid parking
Yeah.
is like if you do that in Fresno, you're retarded.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
you
right.
paid for parking?
Look at all the space over here.
Just park in someone's field.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what
park
do
in
you-
the dirt. Yeah,
park
what-
in the dirt, just off the
Dummy.
side of the road. Just wherever you're on the highway, stop, pull over, park your car there.
But it was just like this weird, like super intense, like claustrophobic, like feeling where I'm like, I need a big empty parking lot right now. Like I was just freaking out.
Yeah, like if you're used to space, like that's terrible. Any big city, you're just like, there's no space.
Yeah.
Like, every space is a commodity. Space is
Right.
fined and taxed, and yeah, it just feels you're just like, what, and immediately you're like, I hate meter maids. Like, I never hated a human being for an occupation. Now I'm like, if you're a meter maid, you're a piece of shit. like I'm like, you deserve, like,
How long you been down in LA?
like we shouldn't beat gay people, but we should definitely beat the fuck out of meter maids.
I like that. That's your not this,
Not
but
this, but that. Gay people, that's not a choice. Meter maid, totally a choice. Fuck
Totally,
you.
100% a choice.
100% choice. We get to beat the fuck out of
Do
you.
something with your life.
Stop.
They need like conversion therapy for meter maids.
I mean, I got to feel for them. It's a shitty job. And, they're like, well, someone's got to do it. But yeah, someone else.
somebody else.
Somebody
you quit.
else.
Yeah,
You quit.
Just somebody that we want to hate. I don't know.
You got to be shitty. You're just like, here's a job where everybody is going to hate you. You're like, sign me up.
Do you feel like living in LA has made you a shittier person? Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
How long you been down there?
I mean, I went to school in 2007.
Oh wow, you've been down there for over a decade.
Yeah, but I didn't really start comedy till 2011. But yeah, I mean, initially in the fall of 2007, I moved down there for college, and then just kind of I dabbled, I dipped my toe into comedy.
Yeah. Well, before we get into all that, 'cause I thought we were kind of tugging at an interesting thread, like you're talking about being, living in Livingston in your hot house, just being bored, and you mentioned like Jim Carrey, like, I mean, so is that what you're doing? You're just kind of like losing yourself in your head, just trying to keep yourself entertained and not think about how hot you are at that moment?
Yeah, you're just bored, man. There's nothing to do there. There's no Six Flags. There's no, it's like this, it's literally like your place, man. It's just, you go outside, there's like dirt and dust, and I mean, like now it's like I love it because it's like you got fruit trees, you have a dog, you can run with your dog, and you can just you don't hear anything. It's nice. It's peaceful.
You can see the stars.
You can see the stars. I love that. I come back home, I'm like, oh, the fucking stars. And you just look, and I'm like, really see the stars. And it's just like that pace of life is nice. It's not, you can literally relax, and you can just enjoy just chilling, like it's peaceful. It's a good life. Because if you ever want to go to this shit, you can go to this shit. But most people live in the shit and they can't get out of it. Like they vacation away. They can vacation in like, Yosemite for like a weekend.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think some people are wired different. Like some people, or just like my theory is like wherever you're kind of born and raised, like that, the first maybe 10, 15 years, that becomes your thing, your model of how the world should work. So if you're born and raised in the city, like you're always gonna want to be in the city. So if you ever moved out here, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
this
is cows gross.
But it would take a minute. I think here's what I think. I think there's a bubble, And if you're in the bubble, you know nothing but the bubble, right? And if you're like here, Fresno or someplace, as long as you have a car and your parents maybe had the inclination to be like, let's travel a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they weren't just like, we're stuck in a small town. It's like, we have a car. We can go. It's a Japanese model, which means great MPG. So let's go to the Bay. You know what I mean? Let's go 2 hours away and go to Monterey, Santa Cruz. Let's see the beach. It's right there. You know, it's like this is the Midwest, but it's in California. But 100%. At the same time, it's only a 2 hour drive to the beach. Right. For the people in the Midwest, they're stuck there. I feel for them. It's like you have to get on a plane just to see the ocean.
I do 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. There is like because when we were back out. When Danny and I were doing that tour last year, we went all the way out to Louisiana and stuff, and we're just driving through Texas, and I'm like, I was like, because no matter where you are in the Central Valley, even though it is the middle of nowhere, you can still see like the mountains, like you can still see like some topography, you know, like there's still some like there's still some like variance in the but out there it's just miles and miles of flat nothing. Like I've never felt so like alone. I'm always in the shadow of a mountain, you know, around here somewhere, you know, but like having nothing looming over me felt weird. It was weird.
You can't look. I guess I don't know what that's like to look over. Just look at the horizon. It's just straight.
Yeah,
and it just disappears. Like me, I'm like straight mountains. Smog.
Totally. Yeah,
smog, dust.
This is what you're used to.
Yeah.
And did you? I know you talk about having a younger brother in your act. I mean, do you have a big family or what?
I got two baby brothers. It's weird, man. I'm weird because my mom is Nicaraguan, my dad's Indian. That's already bizarre. They met in a McDonald's. That's weird. In Merced, California.
Yeah.
Fell in McLove, had me. That's what happened, man. Get that Mickey D's love. Yeah. I was born in Merced and then pretty much raised in Livingston, little cow town. Weird mixed kid.
Yeah.
In the middle, you know.
What are you like as a? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
Sorry. And I was trying to get to the point where I'm like, I'm 6. So I was up until I was 16. I was an only child.
Oh, wow.
And then my mom was like, factory's back online, suckers. We're making shit again. I don't know what happened. Like she said, I got to ask her. Like I got to really sit her down because my mom exaggerates and lies. So maybe that's what makes my mind like fantastical and shit.
Do you feel like that's like being an only child too? Maybe like added to some of the imagination you had to have?
For sure, 100%. Because like my brothers they're gay. They don't like, you know, one's actually gay, but they're actually schoolyard gay, both of them, like in the sense that they're they're not creative at all. They're kind of like, you know, it's kids with the phones now, right? We already know this. You know, it's a big thing everyone keeps talking about, but it's true. It's like they just don't do anything. They don't. I mean, you can't draw a picture to save their life. You know, it's just not like do something, create something. Because I was like, part of it was like you didn't have phones. You're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, this is the difference between like city people and country people, right? Or like people, city folk, and I mean, it really is the difference between like almost Democrats and Republicans. It's like almost always like Democrats are in the city, Republicans are out where there's land. Rural, you know what I mean? It's like that. There's that divide between people, and it's like I call it dependence and independence. I think if you're more in the rural area, you learn to be independent. You learn to kind of do things on your own. You kind of go out and figure it out. Versus like you're in the city, you're like provide for me, city. Right. Like you know that's why they like. Well, we want to look in the legislation to add this, more this, that, and the other. Because why? Oh, I don't want to do it myself. Like, I want someone else to take care of my ass. That's basically what it was. Like out here, it's like fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. You know what I mean? Just like. You know, you want something, you want like, well, I want to just fucking make a fruit tree, you know? Like, whereas like in the city, it's like, well, you got to get a permit for that. You go there, it's like, oh, fuck off, right? It's like, it's almost like less freedom, right? Out here, it's like more freedom, but at the same time, it's kind of wide open. So it's like, there's no, it's like, do whatever you want, kind of. But there's also nothing here. So it's like, really, do whatever the fuck you want with this nothing, you know?
Right. So, so you're just kind of this like, I mean, are you, and growing up, are you like the popular kid? Or are you like, you know, are you the loner kid? What kind of kid are you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all comedians. We kind of are like loners in a little bit of a way, but you know, you still want to be like, I guess it's like any kid, right? You kind of want to be the popular kid.
Sure.
Yeah, right? You want to be cool with everybody. I wasn't like a complete loner. I just knew I was different from like a young age. I was just like, I don't fit complete. Because when I grew up, it was just Indians and Mexicans and like, you know, sprinkling, spattering of white people, but they weren't white people. They were Portuguese, right?
Sure.
So it was like Portuguese, white people who, you know, I mean, it's a cool mixture where I grew up, but I didn't fit in, right? It was like, the Indians would play the Mexicans in soccer, and I'd be like the ref, because they didn't trust me. Neither side trusted me. I'm like, if you neither trust me, I'm a perfect ref, because I got no bias, right? I don't like obviously I'm against both of you then, right? Like, who would I be favoring? Right? Because you're like, he's Mexican. No, he's Indian. He's Indian. Like they didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they didn't know what I was.
Sure.
So it was kind of like, it was cool though. But it was like, maybe I was like, oh, I'm unique. I'm different. I didn't take it as like, oh, I'm unique. I'm different. Why won't you just let me be? Pride flags.
Yeah.
Like it was
like
just,
leaned into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. Like, were you playing sports, or what were you doing out there in Livingston?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's what you have to do. It's like join a club, do some sports. Something like that. So I did, as soon as I got kind of like 7th, 8th grade, I started doing sports, like whatever sports I could do, little league, things like that, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I got into high school, it was like sports. Every year I did more and more sports. But I did all the individual sports. I found that I wasn't good at, like, I remember playing football, I sucked.
Oh, you were doing like track and field and stuff?
Yeah, I was fast, so I did track, and then I did wrestling and cross country. So I just did all the individual sports.
Sure.
Yeah, it was just like, I like people, but I was like, when it came time to do the thing, I was like, I'd rather just do the thing and not have to rely on giving the ball to fucking Todd who drops it every time. You know what I mean?
Fuck you, Todd.
Yeah, fuck you, Todd.
You fucking weakest link.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned you ended up going to college down south. Or like that's how you ended up in LA?
Went to Merced College first. What's up?
What's up?
Community University of Merced, CUM, baby.
They got a state college now, which is pretty.
Yeah, now it's big.
UC Merced.
But I went to the Community University of Merced. That's what I like to call it. It's just Merced College.
Yeah.
Went there and went to and then from there transferred to Cal State LA.
What do you deciding to major in?
Kinesiology. Like
no shit. Yeah, like a dummy.
Like a dummy. Like, didn't use it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's like the study of like movement of the
movement of the human body, movement within the body.
And then were you like wanting to get into sports medicine? What were you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Basically, from that, with that degree, you would lead into. You could go into physical therapy. That was the moneymaker. Like, if you're smart, you go into physical therapy, or PE teacher if you want to go get your credential. Yeah. But you were like a really like highly qualified, glorified personal trainer. Essentially what you were. In a lot of ways. So I ended up getting like personal training job afterwards. I mean, in my head, like I came in there undeclared. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. I was like, because I was like, I was starting to dabble in comedy. I was like, I went and did an open mic in Pleasanton. That was the closest one. It was an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Tommy T's.
Oh, good old Tommy T's.
Tommy T's.
And then where did the wheels kind of fall off with the college thing? Or did you graduate? Or?
I finished, but I realized by the end of it, I hate college. I never want to do that shit again. It was stupid and it's a scam. And I was like, oh, this whole, like, you learn shit. You're like, this shit's a scam.
Yeah.
This is a fuck. Like, and not completely. Look, if you're a doctor, engineer, there are like certain fields where it's like, we need that. You need that structure. But then there's a lot of fields where it's like, you don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's people in that field who make a ton of money and are ahead of you and just from experience because they just went into it. Like the kid who went to college versus the kid who just started, business, let's say, is going to be. The guy who started without the degree is going to be ahead of the kid who has a degree. Right. After 4 years.
What? And then you start. I mean, you literally just started talking about like, you see this whole time the whole idea of comedy is sort of like bubbling up in you. You're like, I think I want to do this thing. Yeah. What was the moment where you're like, oh shit, I want to be a comedian? Or did that happen like before? Did you always want to know you wanted to be a stand-up comic?
It's funny. Like I remember watching like Jim Carrey when I was a kid, and I was just like, that whatever that is, like that brings me so much joy. If I could do that to, like it was watching that, and that would bring me joy. Like I remember just being super excited to watch Jim Carrey do whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like a new Jim Carrey movie was out. I was like, oh you know, it was like crazy. It was just like just crazy amount of excitement.
Liar, bro.
Liar, you know, fucking anything, man. Yes, liar, man. Mask, fucking yes, man. By then I was a little older.
but like the Ace Ventura.
But I still like the guy, man. I'm still mesmerized. I'm still.
I know he's just still an amazing. He's
still an amazing comedic performer. Just like but it was just like he made me feel joy, like, you know. And I just, you know, I remember hearing him talk about it or something like that was his job. You know, that's what his goal. So I'm like, mission accomplished. It worked, man. Because I know not only me, but so many other people feel that way. Like that was, I've seen him one time and I was like, oh, that was the first time I was like starstruck. I was like, whoa. And it's like, there's like, it's like an invisible aura, dude. It was like around that. And it was at the Comedy Store. And immediately it was like, it's like we were looking at the hottest woman in the world. Like all the guys like, Jim Carrey's here.
Just like an energy and a presence.
We're all fucking hyperventilating. We're losing our shit, man. It's crazy.
That's great. Did you actually see him do some stand up?
No. I didn't get to see him.
I wonder what his stand.
Just shook his hand, told him he was cool. I was like, I'll give you an Uber ride if you need it.
That's great. And so then you. And Tommy T's in Pleasanton. So you were down south, but then you were like, were you up visiting family when you decided to?
No, I did Tommy T's like a couple times. I did Tommy T's open mic. The first open mic I did was in 2007, like maybe a couple months before I went to LA. And went up there and bombed.
Yeah.
First time, bombed. But I remember there was like two old black ladies, nobody in there, just comics. And they just, you know, comics just looked at you, stared.
Yeah,
and I think I think one comic went, and like two old ladies went. That's literally all the laughs I got that whole set. It was literally all about my asshole. So it wasn't like just cutting. It wasn't like cutting edge shit. But it was like, you know, fucking poop comes out the butthole. You know, just like who knows what I was doing. I was probably up there being like I had so many thoughts in my head, like literally couldn't speak. I remember.
I was trying to think about that. Like, what was the first joke I told on stage? I can't remember.
I can't remember either because it was so like I think I tried to tell a joke and it was just so bad. Like butthole shit's funny, right, guys? Farts.
Yeah. Did you like I know the first time I did it, I really like it was really just like rehearsing. I just basically regurgitated. It may as well have been like a screenplay. Like I may as well have just been doing a stage act.
Scripts.
You know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Was that how it was for you, or were you kind of?
Man, I tried to have a script and it fell apart immediately, and that's why I just went to like, you know, poop. It's funny. It just I became a child. I became a 3-year-old.
So that's 2007. And then 4 years later, you decided to do it again, or did you?
No, like, so I did it for a little while. I did a couple bringer shows, and then like, so my third time on stage or fourth time on stage, I did a bringer show in the Comedy Store in the Belly Room.
Oh wow!
And they brought me up, they put me in a good spot, and there was people there.
Yeah.
And I did well.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did well. I killed for that night.
Yeah,
and I was like, whoa.
Is that where you feel like you really?
That was the bug. That was like the second you connected. Like I think my first joke was so stupid. It was about Beowulf, and I did it wrong. Like because Beowulf was coming out that year. or whatever.
The fucking movie.
Beowulf. You know when he like fucking keeps ripping at him. So he's like kills things, and he just says his name.
Yeah.
And so I did some sort of riff off of Beowulf because like my name's Beowulf. You know. It's so stupid. It was so dumb and nerdy, and like half people were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And then whatever my second joke was landed, and then we're off to the races from there.
Yeah.
And that first like punch, and it landed, and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
What I meant to happen actually happened. And I was like, "Whoa!" And then. Yeah, did well for the rest of the set. It was like a 6-minute set, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're so good."
And this is still 2007.
This is the very end of 2007. Like December of 2007.
Oh wow!
And then I did a couple more bringer shows until I figured out, it's kind of a trap.
Another scam.
It's a scam. Yeah. And so, and then I just, I was working my way through college, through university. Excuse me. I was working my way through university. So, all my time, I kind of went to going to school and university, and that took over.
Right.
Because I was like, that's the thing. That's the reason you're out here, kind of in LA. It was like I wanted to get to LA because part of me was like, I gotta try this thing.
Right.
Because I could have went to Stanislaus or something.
Sure.
But I was like, I'm gonna go out there because I want to do something. But I ended up not doing it much, And then those were like a couple years of the dark ages because I was just like, I don't like school. I'm literally working a security job, which is like, dude, I'm 5'9", $150. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not. a big guy or anything. So I'm over there doing security.
So you're kind of just. It sounds like you're just kind of like going through the motions as like life presents itself to you. Yeah, like aimless and rudderless.
Yeah, aimless and just kind of like. But it never. The thing to do comedy never went away. Every now and then when I would get a day off, I would go to the Comedy Store and I'd sit in the back and watch.
Yeah.
And just spend fucking my whole one Sunday off there. You know what I mean?
And then 2011 rolls around. Like, what's the change that happened?
Well, school. I'm done with school.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the end. I got done in fall 2010, and then found a job, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
working at the YMCA.
Oh, nice.
And it was like, now what?
Yeah,
right.
Like,
well.
And then it's almost like a whole different animal because now you're restarting, but you're restarting in LA. Is that kind of how it is?
Yeah.
And you're hitting like the LA open mic scene?
Yeah, that's really where I started because like I said, I only had maybe a handful of experiences before that.
Right.
And then it was LA, but I was doing bringer shows, So and bringer shows like once a month. And I had 5 minutes of ass material where it's funny at the time. This shows the times. I'm talking about Beowulf, but I also had like my cadence and everything. Like I tried to be deadpan because I was watching a lot of Dimitri Martin.
Yeah, right.
And he was just really big at that moment. And so whatever, like his cadence got into me. So I started trying to talk like Dimitri Martin and be really stoic type shit. Yeah. It would still work. The jokes worked. They were mine, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, I feel like just I watch. Obviously, I sit through like a lot of open mics, like most comedians, and I always say it sort of like anecdotally, but I think it's true. Like I think I watch more. Danny and I watch more live comedy than anybody else in Fresno County. Like nobody else. Like we do so many shows, but like I feel like there's definitely like if there's a brand new comic going up, there's one of two things. They're either gonna be that like stoic Dimitri Martin, Mitch Hedberg, or they're gonna tell some really long-winded story that like normally kills in front of their friends, but really turns out it's not a good comedy bit, and then they're gonna run the light by 2 minutes because they don't know how to end their story.
They don't know what a light is.
Yeah, exactly. But so you're doing that, and then but that's and I'm always impressed by comics that start in LA and then are also good, like because it just seems like such a brutal place to like start comedy with, like at those open mics and stuff.
I mean, I don't know, dude. It's like joining the military and everybody is a Navy SEAL. Like you're looking around and everybody in your group, they're all Navy SEAls already. You know what I mean? Like everybody is a headliner, been on TV. It's like, I talked to Pryor before he died type shit.
Right.
Everybody, because that's the thing. You have all walks, I should say, not just that.
Sure.
There's those people, and then there's levels, and you see the people who are just getting on, or just had a Comedy Central presents.
Yeah.
You see people that are really funny at the open mics that a year from now or a couple months from now they get passed at the store or something. So you see the levels of the game.
Well, and that's almost. I mean, that's pretty wild too, because at the same time it's like they have these insane credits, but they're on the same open mic list as you, like, you know what I mean? Like, as
that happens sometimes. That's humbling.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, there is this only. This never gets better.
Yeah, sometimes it's that shit. I did like the NBC diversity showcase.
Oh, did you really? Yeah.
Yeah, and I made it to like the second round or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I mean, I got past it. Nothing happened. But I did remember seeing people that are already headliners, like in LA clubs, and they were doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're ahead of me, and they're still in this grind. So it's like, it's interesting. It's definitely like, it's a grind. That's all you can really say.
Sure.
It's a grind, but you learn a lot. You see a lot, and you learn a lot.
Right. Well, and that's the wild thing is, we have Danny and I. We're hit up all the time about doing our rooms, and it seems almost silly. It's like, oh, you're leaving LA to go to a pizza place in Clovis, and it's like, well, you gotta understand how shitty it is.
Yeah, like me and Rosenberg.
Yeah, you and Rosenberg. Yeah. It's fucking killed tonight, man.
Yeah, we're talking about it, but it's just like your open mic is our show. Like comparatively, that's the nice thing. Like the more you get outside of LA, or like maybe like New York or something, or a major. Not even, I would say San Francisco is a good scene too, but like out of like the meccas, I would say I can't say for sure New York, but like LA is just so saturated. It's because it's everybody there is an actor, singer, songwriter, dancer, entertainer of some sort, poet, You'll meet people and they'll be like, "Oh, that reminds me of a poet I once, a poem I once wrote."
Oh no!
And I said, "Little black man, little black man." they just start telling you their poem, in real life. You're like, you can't just do a poem in real life. Go to a fucking poetry slam or some shit.
That's
finger
so funny.
Finger snaps. Like,
man.
Don't do the finger snaps. I'm insulted by the finger snaps. Because I'm a
yeah. Do you do? I mean, you do a lot up north, right? Like, cause I mean, I feel like I've seen you like on more comedy posters for stuff happening like in Sacramento, like Northern California.
Well, I mean, those are the shows that I do. I don't do too many shows. I'm still trying to figure out the LA game. I'm in it, but a once great comic, or still a great comic, Ed Greer once told me, get good in private.
Interesting.
And then just
that's real.
Yeah. So I because you kind of never a second chance at a first impression type thing. Right. You know, once someone in the industry or somebody who has maybe, is running a club, they see you and you're not so great, or you're half baked, or you're okay, or you're a beginner or whatever. They might be like, no, I'm not going to. And then they're always going to remember that. Even if you come back strong, part of them is always going to go, no, didn't that kid suck?
Right.
So,
like, I saw one. I mean, that is absolutely one advantage that I appreciate about being in this scene is like every time I go down to LA to just do a spot, it's like you can blow the doors off the place, like because they've never seen you before.
Right,
you're a fresh face, and you're coming at them with an actual act that's polished and tested, and it's just like I've gotten so much work by going down there and just doing like actual material on an open mic, which obviously is not ideal. But if I'm from out of town and these people have never seen me before, this is an audition. You know what I mean? And so, you're right. There's definitely something to that. It's like getting good in private because, I did. Somebody talked me into doing the Flappers audition. That's silly. Like I was like, it's 5:30 in the afternoon. I'm already here, and so I went and did great. I crushed, and it was fine. It was a 3-minute spot, and then just watching. All the comics come up to me afterwards like, where did you come from? Because they all see each other every single week. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, nah, I'm from out of town.
You're the new kid in school.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there's definitely there's that, but there's also the thing. Don't you need exposure as well?
Sure, that's real.
It's the opposite. Is like you also need to get in front of people.
Right.
And it's like I don't know. Success weighs more than failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we don't tend to think that, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like you can. I've seen people who are. It's almost better. The story is almost better if they sucked in the beginning. Right. The story's almost better. Like, dude, that guy used to suck.
Yeah. Right. It's like
6 years later, you're like, what the fuck? It's like the girl who was ugly in high school, and then you see her, and she's like, dude, she's fucking hot.
Yeah. Oh, she just took her glasses off.
She just got tits and took her glasses off. Now she's banging out of control.
Definitely a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man.
She's all that, right?
That's it. What's it?
I don't know why I did the Chinese version of that.
I don't know why you did it either. Oh, man. Well, you're Shaman Johal, and this is a podcast called Sad Dad.
Oh shit!
This is a podcast
okay.
This is a podcast where we talk about our dads.
Cool.
I feel like the audience has gotten to know you. I try to spend the first half of the show letting the audience get to know the guest,
sweet.
and then we go into the dad
I like
stuff.
it. This is great.
I forgot to give you I really fucked up. I think
right.
I should have told you what all of this was.
Well, fuck it. I'm gonna stop this podcast.
Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. So
it's over.
Tuesday night. Yeah, we just did a show. Either way,
you're the captain of your ship. Okay?
I'm the captain of this ship. He just pointed at my ship wheel that's on the wall. But yeah, I always like the dad thing. It's like a big question. Like tell me about your dad. But like I try to take it in like baby steps. And so where did your dad grow up?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, let's start from the very beginning.
Yeah, start from the very beginning.
Yeah,
in my grandpa's nutsack.
It was a warm day. It was a warm September.
Day. Yeah. I have a letter on the day my dad was conceived. No, I just appreciate that you have a podcast about dads.
Oh yeah,
it's
man.
Interesting because everyone's like, "Yo, fuck your mom." What? You want to die? It's like, fuck your dad. Nobody cares. All right, that's fine. Say shit. Poor dads. Heartbreak. But that's cool. No, I like this. I'm gonna start a podcast about my mom.
Do it, man. Do it. Call them Mad Moms.
Mad Moms.
Yeah.
When's your mom angry? That sounds about right. No, sad dad. So funny.
Sad dad.
My dad, he was born in Jalandhar.
Okay.
Punjab, if you want to say it correctly, that's how you say it. It's an aggressive. It's an aggressive ass. We're the aggressive Indians, the Punjabi people. Kind of like Armenians a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're tough. We're tough people, man. I don't fuck around. But yeah, that's where he's from. He's from Jalandhar. He was. I don't know. I mean, he was born in a village.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A village in India, and yeah, it's a crazy place. I went there 2015. I went there when I was 5. I don't remember much, but I remember in 2015 going.
Yeah.
And it looks like it looks like Livingston.
Yeah, you were saying that earlier. We were talking. Yeah. How wild.
Yeah, it looks like this. It's the same sort of climate and farmland, but the villages are funny. It almost looks like a rundown high school.
Okay.
Like that's their village. It's like everybody in the village, even though they're not related 100% by blood, but they all consider themselves family.
I see.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where my dad is from. I forget what his exact village is. What the name is. He told me one time, I forgot. But I know he's from Jalandhar and Punjab.
Is it? I mean, what's the population on a village like that in India? Is it a lot of people?
A couple hundred.
Okay, so yeah, it's pretty.
It depends on the village.
So it is kind of like a tight knit community.
Yeah, it's like a school. It's like the size of a school almost.
Yeah,
They have I went to one and they had like their own little temple. So it's like it's almost old school. Like you'd see in movies, like people out in the Wild West. They're like, oh, we're gonna congregate in the church, right? And everyone comes to the church. It's like enough. That's what it's like.
Yeah, there's probably been a lynch mob formed at some point.
Right. Yeah.
And so and so he's grown up out there. I mean, do they have is there I know a lot of times villages are formed around a trade. Is it like an agrarian society
farmers.
Or what do they do? Farmers? Yeah.
Farmers, yeah. Farmers.
Yeah.
Sugar cane is a big thing out there. They farm. They have this thing called sog, which is like greens. Mixed greens. They farm. They farm. What else do they farm? Sugarcane is the big one. That's the one that I remember seeing a lot of sugarcane fields.
And is he part of a big family? You know what I mean? Like, is he?
Yeah. Well, big. I mean, I feel like everybody from foreign countries has a big families. Because it's my dad, and then he. And this is the other thing when you grow up in these. So I don't know. This is the sad part of sad dad. But my dad had 2 brothers, but they both one died when it was like a couple weeks old.
Oh wow.
And then the other one, the other one fell in a well in India when he was like 6 or 7.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's sad, man, because it's just like he was just playing outside and he just fell in.
God. Yeah.
So they made sure I learned how to swim at a very early age.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And do you know what kind of kid your dad is growing up? Is he?
He's the baby of the family.
Okay.
So he's the baby. Because they had the 2 boys and they both died, and then they had my dad. And then he has 4 sisters.
Oh, okay.
He had 5. One died in a car accident. Oh, wow. So it's like kind of that was just a freak accident. But that's kind of how, in sort of like third world ethnic countries, they almost like the reason they're like you have a lot of kids. It's almost like part of the law of nature is just like you're gonna lose a couple.
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
You might not all make it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you might have 1 kid and you lose your 1 kid. It's like fuck. So that's why they have so many kids out there. Right. It's like part of it. But yeah, pretty big family. Yeah.
And is he and I mean, what's a childhood like for a kid out? And,
my dad.
What's he doing?
My dad. He was in India till he was 10, and he said that he would go outside. They have water buffalo out there, so instead of cows, they have water buffalo, and that's where they get their milks from, and the cheese and the cream and all kinds of stuff. So they use that. So he was telling me about his chores when he was a kid. He had to go out there and feed the water buffalo. These 2, just literally, make him sound like he was fucking Rocky training for Drago every day. You know what I mean? He's constantly lifting these heavy pails and he's doing this. I mean, he's doing physical work, and it's just like, and the kids, it's a village, man. My aunt told me that he was a bad kid. That he would that he was a little shit, basically. Like he would The one they told me is that the funniest one is that like he would like sort of their hallways are kind of short. And he would stand above it with his legs and then he'd piss on people when they came by.
Jesus.
He's like 2-3 years old.
That's so
yeah, he's
funny.
a savage, man. I mean, this is third world country shit back in, 67. So this is the 70s, right? In India, all right? It's rural. It's fucking a third world country. So it's just different rules, man.
How funny.
I mean, when the bullies beat you up, they piss on you. That's customary. They beat you up and they pee on you. So yeah, he said he used to beat up other kids and take their lunch at school.
Wow.
And it's kill or be killed type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's there until you said he's there till he's 10?
Till he's 10, yeah.
What changes? Like why they made the move?
My aunt got in and she was able to get basically get the visa for them and bring them into the U.S.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's how Indians do it. You get one in, or Chinese, same thing. You get one in, and they sneak a couple more through the back door. They bring them in. I mean, they do it valid. They're not sneaking them in. Yeah. Not like those rotten Mexicans. No.
And does he ever like talk about that? Like I mean, obviously it's a massive like culture shock to a greater or lesser extent for him.
I mean, every now and then I love. When I was a kid, I used to ask him a lot of questions, and so my brother's asking him now. But of course it was a culture shock. It was different. Mm-hmm. It's like you come from India, you're 10 years old, you don't know the language, you don't know, you're in a different place and different. People ask like, "Oh, does your dad have an accent, like a funny accent?" I'm like, "No, because he was here since he was 10, and you acclimatize pretty quickly. At that age, you can still, you're quick.
Your brain's still kind of spongy.
It's very spongy and very elastic, so you can, switch. And
it's almost weird too. It's like I mean, I guess technically you're first generation, technically.
Yeah.
But in a lot of ways, your dad's almost like half generation. You know what I mean?
At this point, he's a fucking redneck.
Yeah.
Right? He drives a F550.
Whoa, that's a fucking big ass
dually.
Jesus.
Pickup truck.
Wow. And so cool.
Got a big old American flag on his bumper. He's also got a "Keep honking, I'm reloading" sign.
That's so funny.
That's
dude.
so redneck, dude. I'm like, you're so redneck. He's got a fifth wheel camper. He's he's into that sort of stuff.
So does he? I mean, obviously
knows the names of all tools. Like when I would be outside trying to help him, he'd be like, give me the 3/4 inch ratchet. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. You know what I mean? To this day, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. So he knows. He's practically.
He's just a manly dude. So he just. Guy. Where do they end up when they moved to the United States? Like what part of the country is it? Here?
Yeah. They came here. They came to fucking Livingston.
No shit.
California. Yep. That's where my aunt was. Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
They had bought property. Luckily, who she married, he was wealthy. He had the hookup. I mean, not wealthy, but wealthy enough that they got the hookup and got over here and were able to save up. But as soon as they got here, I mean, this is where we became Mexican because as soon as we got here, all they know is farming. They don't know the language. That's what my grandpa knows. Right. And so, it's just like every generation before you is tougher, right, than the last. So like, the way he grew up is he was out there picking berries and stuff. He was out there doing farming, just farm laborers. They're farm laborers. Yeah. Right next to Mexicans. Like my grandpa learned Spanish before he learned English.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And so your dad, I mean, and it sounds like your dad almost like takes to the culture like a duck to water. Like he's like, oh yeah, I'm in America, I'm ready to be an American. Is that kind of it, or does he have any?
When you're a kid, I think I don't know if he was like, I want to be American, or if he missed India. I've never asked him that, but it seemed like he's fine. I mean, he's American now. He's super American. I wouldn't know what he was. I'm sure if you're a kid and you're leaving all your friends and family, I think it'd be weird. I think it'd be a culture shock. But again, you bounce back when you're a kid. Like a month is like 3 years when you're a kid. You know what I mean? So maybe like for a month it was miserable, and then I know my dad got fat real quick. I remember he used to brag like how much weight he put on, right? Because you're in India, you're starving, you're kind of fighting for food. And luckily, my family was not there. My grandpa used to drive a truck in India, and so luckily, most families would like meat was like something you would get like once a year, right? Because it wasn't like meat's expensive. That's also part of the reason why they don't eat that much meat. It's like vegetarian is cheaper, plus the Hinduism. But where we're from is like some people eat meat, and meat, when they got their hands on meat, it was like dope. So like my dad said like maybe twice a month they would get meat. So that was pretty good for back then.
Yeah.
So
and now they're just eating hamburgers and
now they're all fat. The best KFC I've ever had is in India. It's crazy.
No shit, huh? Did they do it different, or?
Yeah, they make it. Well, they spice it up. They spice it up. Even if you tell them no spice, you're like, hey man, just don't put any spice on it. Okay, we'll put a little spice on it. It's like they don't.
12 herbs and spices, not boring ass 11.
No, son. 45 different herbs and spices.
That's wild.
Delicious though. I gotta give them credit where credit's due. That's some bomb KFC. I was like, it's pretty good.
And then once your dad gets stateside, like what? I mean, does he change at all as far as like you were saying he was kind of like he was a little bit of a bully back home, but does that change?
You know, it's just when you're a kid from that era, like everybody's a bully. Like it's kill or be killed, right? Those kids are just 70s. Rough, right? It's just like you got to be tough. So I'm sure he got like my dad's tough guy, so I'm sure he tough guy. He's a tough guy, man. Just became really Indian there. The tough guy, man. Yeah, fucking tough guy, dude. I drive truck, man. I'm a tough guy, man.
550?
550? No,
they tried to sell me 450. I was like, no.
450, get the fuck out of here. 450, I came for 550. Can't negotiate with the Indians. Don't even try. You're gonna lose. They're the best. They're ridiculous.
Just haggling on the number.
Yeah. They'll be there, dude. They'll be trying to close up shop, dude. It's like, dude, we gotta go home to our wives. No, I won't. This is my final price.
You throw an extra.
Yeah, you throw an extra.
An extra 100.
Yeah.
Make the 450 a 550.
Fucking, they'll get you down to the cents, man. They're trying to pinch every penny they can.
That's so
$4.99. $4.99 flat.
Oh man. So yeah, okay, cool. Does he end up? Does he just go all in on like farming and agriculture, or what's he end up doing as he gets older?
So my grandpa, they start doing that. Everybody works at foster farms. That's what ends up happening to a lot of my aunts.
That's huge. Even here too. Like we have the foster farms like processing one of their where they cut up the chickens and stuff.
It's a big factory there. You know, benefits, that sort of stuff. We're gonna pay. You know, boom. So a couple of them stay in the area working foster farms, make a decent living. Everything's okay. Very traditional American, like in the 90s. Middle class. And then my dad messed up. He had me. We went to college and met the white devil, my mom.
That's funny.
She's Nicaraguan, but she got light skin, so like, she's white. She's like, I'm not white, stupid. You know? You know, as soon as she talks, you're like, okay, never mind.
How wild. Did he get any pushback on that? Like,
of course. That was huge. Yeah. Oh, big time. Back then, it was like fucking a big deal because Indians are supposed to get arranged and that whole thing, and you keep it in the culture. Yeah. And so for him to marry outside the culture, big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Do you feel like there was like a little bit of I mean, I don't know, it could be anything, but like, I mean, was there a little bit about your mom being white you think that was like attractive to him, like the American experience? You know, it's like
sure. That's why Indian guys come to America. We came for white women, man. White women and then money. You know? No, that has to be because I went to India and my cousin Alex from Canada was like, yo man, there's gonna be so many hot girls there, right? I'm like, I don't think so. It's just gonna be Indian girls, right? And it's like when we go to a wedding, do you like any of the girls? Or like, not really. I'm like, that's what it's gonna be like. You know, I think it's like part of it is like I don't know. You like your own kind, but I think I've lived in America so long that I'm like, I like diversity. I like different things. Right. You know, I appreciate a good-looking black chick or a good-looking Asian chick or good-looking. You know, what is she? Ooh, that's exciting. It's mystery. Mystery. When everyone looks the same, it's not as great, right? You know, and so when you go to India, it's all Indian girls. Everybody's Indian, you know. So it's just like not. It's like they look like our cousins, you know. You know what I mean? There's something about it. It's like it's too close to the family. It feels weird. Yeah. So I can imagine, like I always imagine, like Indian guys coming here and seeing like a black woman with a fat ass, and they're just like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? That's got to blow their mind because you don't get that back in India or whatever. So to see like a white girl with green eyes and blonde hair, it's like,
And your dad just fell head over heels for your mom, or?
Sure. I mean, my mom's so funny. She's like, she said that when she saw him in the McDonald's where they met, my dad's the fry cook, and my mom had low standards. Stupid joke, but that's true. Like my mom, my aunt, my tia, she had a class with my dad at Merced College, so she knew my dad, and then she introduced my mom to her. But my mom was like playing around with her friends, like I'm gonna marry him, you know, like being all sassy and shit. And then later on, it's so funny because my mom changes her mind every 10 minutes. So like I asked her not too long ago, and she was like, well, I was looking for a black guy, but then I met your dad. I was like, close enough. I was like, yo, so that's funny. Hilarious.
I mean, and I guess that's the whole other half of this is like, did your mom's family give her any pushback on your dad?
Yeah, they gave pushback too. Their one is crazy about it because my mom didn't know her dad. And my grandma was a hustler and she got him into the country. And, you know, so it was my grandma was a little bit more like you kind of, you know, you made your bed, you got to kind of sleep in it.
So your mom wasn't born in the United States either?
Nope.
Wow, you're first generation on like
both
two different
sides.
cultures.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I'm weird, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And they're like,
from totally another country. Yeah. Both of them third world country people.
Wow.
Both like super redneck Americans.
You're literally like the embodiment of the American dream.
In a lot of ways, yeah. The more I think about it, I go, yeah,
that's fucking wild. Yeah. And what kind of like growing up, like, I mean, you kind of joked about it a little bit, but like what's your relationship like with your dad growing up? I mean, is he real involved in all the stuff that you're into, or you know, is he going out to all the games and the track meets?
Yeah, he showed up enough. It wasn't like he was always there or anything like that. It wasn't like, oh, my dad. You know, it's not like the fucking Disney movies where they make it like, I just wish my dad would show. I'm like, you're gay. You know, I'd be watching those movies like, shut up. No one wants their dad that much at the game. Stop it. You know, to me, I was just like, it's just so silly. It's dramatic.
Right.
But he showed up enough, you know, that it wasn't like he was absent or anything. But he worked and stuff. My mom, of course, like mom would show up more or drop me off more.
Sure.
For like little league games and things like that. But half the time you're like, little league, man, I got hit in the head in little league because I wasn't paying attention. You know, I got hit in the head. I got hit in the head by the ball, you know, during practice. By a fly ball. Even after like, hey, Shaman, look up. I'm like, huh? Look up, and I was like, oh, there's an eclipse. Oh, what? That's the ball coming down, and then hit me right in the head, right in the middle of my forehead. And then I just became a Hindu for like a month. Everyone just called me Hindu. Yeah, because the ball's spinning, and so it took the first couple layers of skin off when it hit me right in the middle of the forehead.
How funny.
Yeah.
And I mean, is your I mean, are you and your dad pretty close? I mean, you guys talk a lot, or are you kind of is it more of a formal relationship? I mean,
no, not formal. We're like, you know, he's my dad. We're not like I don't know. We're not we're not like this new Disney version of mom, a dad and their son. They talk about their dicks and their feelings.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we're cool. It is like a father-son relationship. You know, like some people have like their dad's almost like their buddy, like a brother. Like some people that have that, and I guess a part of me maybe a little bit. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then the other part's like, that's weird too. You know, because it's your dad, right? But I've seen people that do that. They hang out with their dad. Like, fucking hang out and do. Where I'm like, I'll hang out with my dad, but it's like me hanging out with my dad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, it's like my dad was like I say, my mom's my heart and my dad's my head, my mind.
Oh, interesting.
So my dad is kind of more logical. My mom's more emotional, right? She's the emotional side, and then my dad's the more logical, manly side, right? It's like do this. These are the correct moves to make. So like, when it comes to business or like buying a new car or something like that, I go to my dad and just ask him everything because he knows all that stuff.
Yeah. And what does he think of you doing comedy? I mean, he's like anybody. You know, it's like, you make money. It's like that's sort of thing. That's his first question. Yeah. Well, how much money you make? You know? He's a big guy. My dad's like 6'2", 250. Oh wow.
Yeah, he's a big guy. So, like growing up, he played a sport too. I don't know if I got talked about it.
You did a bit about it.
Yeah.
What's
that's
that
real. All that's real.
What's that sport called?
Kabaddi.
But that's and you sort of talk. It's like it almost sounded a little bit like British Bulldog. Have you ever played British Bulldog?
No.
It's just It's this game where like you have to rush somebody and like pick them up and go 1, 2, 3 British Bulldog. Oh. And then they're in the pit, and then you're trying to catch people, pick them up. Anyway, but
kind of similar a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a really physical.
Yeah, so it's almost like it's like wrestling and track combined almost. You know, it's like basically two guys are on a soccer, two teams are on a different sides of a soccer field. And it's like 5 guys. I always say it's like 5 hairy ass Indians. It's like 5 big ass hairy Indians.
Yeah.
You know, they play this in the village. Right? This is a third world sport, man. This is like you never even like what. You know, so yeah, sure enough, you get 5 hairy ass Indians, the biggest ones you can find. They're all in their underwear. They're not worth nothing but underwear. All of them have knee braces because they fuck up their legs and stuff doing, ankle, they got things tied up, wrists tied up, for injuries. But they're out there pretty much almost naked. And then you got another 5 Indian dudes in their underwear. None of them are matching as far as the underwears go, so you don't know who's you should know the teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which that was the most confusing part as a kid. You're like, what the fuck? What team is what? Yeah, who's winning? Who's doing what? So like basically they take turns. Like one guy from one of the teams will run over across the line. Like the midway line between the soccer field, and he's got 30 seconds to tag one of those guys, or one of those guys tags him, and get back across.
Okay.
So that's basically what it is.
Okay.
So basically he can tag. They can't hit each other. They do like almost like sumo slaps. So they slap each other in the chest, but they can't like punch.
Okay.
Right. But they can grab, and like sometimes there's smaller guys that play, and the way the smaller guys play, they'll jump on the guy's shoulder, and then they'll ram their legs. They'll wrap their legs around his legs to like stop him from moving. So once he stops moving,
So he's got to literally, like you say, tag, but like you mean they have to wrestle him to the ground? Is that what it is?
They basically got to prevent him from getting across that line.
I see.
If he can submit like verbally. But basically, so once he's not making any more movement, he's done. Because I've seen him where what they'll do is it's like, okay, the kicker of the game, the funniest part of the game is the fact that while they're playing this game, they're supposed to be saying the name of the game underneath their breath. So
I thought you were joking when
that's
you were
real.
That.
You have to.
So funny.
So while you're playing the game, you have to be saying kabaddi, 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 kabaddi.
That is so wild.
It's crazy, dude. So you got to play kabaddi, 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 while you're like running away from the dude.
That's so
it's
funny.
Crazy, man. It's a violent. I mean, my dad's, he's like, he was a manly man. He was telling me like he like ripped his thumb went flipped back, popped out of the joint, and he said, he's playing kabaddi and just popped it back in.
Yeah, wow. Dude, dad's a fucking manly man.
Yeah, he's a super manly man.
Playing like full contact sports and
no pads, no nothing. Yeah.
Driving a big ass truck,
making like $10. Like he played for Team USA. There's a Team USA.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. Again, it's just like Indians who made it. Like, okay, we have decided to make Team USA.
Nobody's checking. Who's gonna like? Call out
they're not checking. With the official, state of whatever. They're just like, okay, Indians that are good at the game, bring them over together. I mean, they have a big events. There's big events like you go to certain colleges, and I mean they had to check with somebody because they would take over like Hayward, like CSU Hayward or something. You know what I mean? So they'll take over colleges and play. On the weekend they'd have a tournament there.
Yeah.
And then people who were in the know knew who the good players were.
Sure.
And so sure enough, they'd be like, you know what, you're good enough to be on this team, and we're gonna go against India. We're gonna go against Pakistan. We're going against Canada. We're gonna go against England. Wherever there's Indians, which is fucking everywhere.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
we're gonna play.
How funny, dude. Yeah. I mean, your dad sounds like a neat dude. And I mean, this is the part of the show. I usually like to end it, and this is where I kind of fucked up in like prepping you.
It's all good.
It's usually part of the show where I ask for like a dad anecdote. I call them dadecdotes.
Anecdote.
And it's just like your like a favorite story about your dad, maybe either from growing up or whenever. And it could be a happy story, it could be a sad story, it could be whatever story that really sticks out, that really kind of like kind of encompasses like who your dad is. You know what I mean?
Who my dad is. I mean, this is a weird one. There's so many stories. I don't know which one would be like, that's my dad 100%. I know there was one joke that my dad liked to tell me, and that would make him like just him laugh. So, and it's like son goes off to college, and so son goes off to college. And runs out of money, and he sends his dad. He only has enough money to send his dad like a telegram or something, and it's just like, what's it? Dear Dad, dear Dad, your son, no mun, okay. Dear Dad, no mun, no fun, your son, right? And then the dad sends back let's just say a text. Let's update it right now here officially on the Sad Dad podcast. He sends him a text back and it says, "Too bad, so sad, you're dad." And then my dad would laugh like that. That would be my dad's goofy ass laugh. He thought that joke was so funny.
That was his jam.
That was his dad joke.
It's a dad ass joke.
It's a dad ass joke. So like that's like one thing I think about. Like my dad's got a goofy ass sense of humor, but yeah, he's a wild dude, very smart guy. And, Yeah, man. I'm very lucky. I have good parents. I'm lucky. I got a cool dad.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Well, Shaman, you've been a ton of fun tonight for this late night Sad Dad podcast. If people want more Shaman Johal in their life, where can they find you at?
I mean, just look at my name. You Google it, and I'll pop up. And I'll be up there. You can put in Bruce Banana into YouTube.
Okay.
And I have a rough draft animatic of a cartoon.
Oh, cool.
That I'm trying to pitch.
Nice,
to different people. So
I can link that in the show notes.
If somebody's like, wants to, fund a cartoon and get that to the big leagues.
Sure.
It's fun. It's cool. It's called Bruce Banana Action Hero. It's about a guy who's half man, half banana, all action. And he fights an evil monkey. So if you're down with that.
You're on Instagram?
I'm not on Instagram because I'm stupid. I'm on Facebook under It's All a Sham.
Yeah, it's not even your real name.
It's not even my real name. But I'm going to be moving all my stuff over to Instagram, and I'm going to join all the grammars and try to. I'm going to join all the cool kids.
I'm on that. I'll definitely link the YouTube thing.
Yeah, link all my stuff.
I will.
Yeah, I don't have too much.
Thanks so much for doing this, man.
Thanks, man.
You got a long drive. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Super fun.
You got it, man.
It was a blast.
And we're back.
All right, Shaman Johal, everybody. What do you think? You didn't listen to that. That was it just happened. It all happened in post.
And how you guys listened to it was maybe about 20 or 30 minutes long, but for us it was only 10 seconds long.
That's right. It's the magic of editing.
Yeah. Dun dun dun.
Oh man. Well, cool guys. I hope you had a great week. Like we said up at the top, I hope your week coming up is good. I got a really fun episode coming up next week with a funny comic named Laura Crawford, and then that's it for this week. If you can rate and review on iTunes, saddadpodcast@gmail.com if you need to get a hold of me, and then there's the Sad Dad Patreon if you're feeling like supporting the show financially, and I think that is it. Is there anything else you need to add?
No.
No? You're good? No. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We'll be back next week. And thank you, Abigail, for being on.
No problem.
Yeah, I think everybody was anxiously awaiting your update from camp. All right, you want to say it?
Adios.
Adios.